Hi everyone, welcome to BritIndians. I'm Joshua. So in this series, like the student experience series, we have today Praveen Kumar with us. So Praveen Kumar is an old student, like he did his masters in 2013 at the University of Leicester. For like he did his masters in computer science. So today he's gonna answer some of the questions which you have been like asking me about computer science jobs and experience, student experience in Leicester University, everything. So let's get into the video. Uh, Hi, Praveen. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey Joshua, I'm Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India. Currently, I'm working in London for one of the top two banks in the UK. I'm a full stack JavaScript specialist, specializing on React and Node.js. That's me. And moreover, I have a huge passion of getting free education to a lot of people and more women in tech. And moreover, I'm a cat lover. That's a quick short thing about me. And I did my master's in cloud computing from University of Leicester. And yeah, pretty much that's about me. So I came here in September 2013 and 1 year as the university time. And then in most of the British universities, they have this degree called as with industry. And during that time, generally with industry means 1/3 of your course duration, that is 2 years course means it's 1/3 is 8 months. 8 months is going to be your full-time job, so you don't need to worry about any work permit or visa requirements. Everything will be taken care by the university itself, and all the paperwork will be done by them. So you can work for full-time for 8 months in any place that you like or wish, and then later on you'll be doing the dissertation. So I took that route, and yeah, so that's about what I did. Masters in cloud computing with industry. So
That's great. That's great, Praveen. And everyone, Praveen has a YouTube channel. So he's, freely teaching to a lot of people. I will give the link in the description. You can go and check it out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And, I was talking about a lot of, skills and experiences. And if you go and check out his YouTube channel, you will learn a lot of skills. If you're doing computer science in UK, then you need those skills to get a job here. And
100%.
Praveen, so a lot of people are choosing US because it's a tech giant, country where you get a lot of jobs for computer science. Why did you choose UK?
100% I accept with you, Joshua. There is a funny backstory for this. If you don't mind me telling something screwed up
Yeah, yeah,
story,
yeah,
if
definitely want to hear that.
anyway. So I was born and brought up in Chennai, right? So in Tamil Nadu, do you know the main source of movies is the Hollywood, and 90% of all movies will say like there is an America Mapla coming in and flying in from the Anna International Airport, and first thing that actually made me saturated. Whenever I see, wherever I see, there is an America Mapla coming and stealing the heroine back. So that's one thing. Second thing is there are a couple of films, couple of movies that portrayed US in totally a different way, and US has this gun culture and other things. So kind of I kind of like hated that. I mean, basically I need to stay alive, so that's one thing, stay safe. But even though leaving apart for those things, I have been hearing in the news that a lot of incidents, like people have been like blindly shot and other things, a lot of things were coming up. So I was a bit scared about those things. And finally, everyone knows it, there was one huge guinea pig head was there. And yeah, sorry, I totally hated him. So that was the third reason I did not even want to go anywhere near US. But a lot of software development opportunities are there in the US. And not only that, I have been in touch with a lot of companies, I have been consulting with a lot of companies, yet I had the hesitation to go to US. And coming to the work permit kind of things, they have a lottery system. I mean, like what? So they put like a basket of papers, basket of visas, then they will just randomly pick 5 visas and they will give it off. I mean, that's completely absurd. So I hated that kind of a system. So what if I had to get a work permit, and they are, if that is not going by the talents, and then I feel that was a bit disappointing in their style of things. So considering all these things, that's the major things. And secondly, obviously, I'm coming from a middle class family, and I don't think I could afford what US universities would be able to, like, I mean, I won't be able to spend that much. And finally, there is some kind of a, love towards the British kind of a thing, because obviously, yes, today is Independence Day and the Independence Day of India, and we got independence from the British. But some kind of a relation we share with India and British. So there has been that for me. And yes, my one of the most favorite mathematicians, I have like zero clue about maths. Maths suttu potalum en mandayila eradu, which means like never ever mathematics goes into my head. But my favorite mathematician is Srinivasa Ramanujan, and he studied in Cambridge, and I know how Cambridge has treated him. Maybe that was just for fantasy, but I really loved the way how that was portrayed. And that was like a love and first sight. And we also have got, again, coming back to the movie influences, Madrasapatnam, the way everything was portrayed. I don't know, I loved coming to UK rather than anywhere in the world. See, I had these options, right? So if I go to Germany, the studies are free, but you have a problem of language. If I go to US, there are a lot of opportunities, but everything is problem there. If I go to Canada, everything is available, but at the same time, the climate is extremely unfortunate there. So other than that, what else do we have? It's UK. And even in UK, there is like Scotland and England. And one thing is, I'm extremely afraid of writing any entrance examination. So for example, anything like GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, completely scared. So what happened was, I was showing my project to University of Leicester, and they were extremely satisfied with what I did for them. And this happened in my 12th standard. And later on, even that the person who, okay, I'll come to that story later, but they were extremely satisfied with it. And when they asked if you would like to pursue masters here, I was like, if you keep any entrance examination, I'll definitely fail. I'm scared of any kind of these entrance examinations, like what do you call this, IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, etc. They just laughed for a bit, and then they just asked my 12th standard English marks. I said 78, and then they said, like, we'll give you 3.5 lakhs of scholarship. How does that work? And I was like, what? Okay, so 3.5 lakh scholarship, no exams, and I'm in. Bam, that's it. What else do I need?
Yeah, yeah, that's actually very interesting. So how is Leicester University? Like, can you give us some feedback about that?
I have also written a huge blog post about it. I believe you have put it in the description, the link. By the way, let me summarize a bit. In one word, if I need to say it, is heaven. So everyone, it's natural that everyone knows that we are going to leave our parents, leave our hometown, the birthplace, everything, our own country, and then we come here to study apart, away from our houses. We know how the feel is, right? I need to say about a professor here. Can I say his name?
Yeah, you can definitely.
That's fine, right? So Professor Thomas Erlebach, he's in his 80s, I believe. Professor, if you're seeing this, I really would like to meet you as quick as possible. It's been a long time. So he has been there for me from the day one, as my pre-tutor, personal tutor, project supervisor, everything. To be honest, he was my second parent, I would say. He has been taking care of me like anything when I was in Leicester, like a dad, like a mom. I didn't have the feel that I was away from my home. What else would someone expect from a professor? And a lot of things I need to say. So once, what happened was, I had a milestone meeting for my project, and it was like around 1:45 a.m. in the midnight. Obviously, developers, right? We never sleep. So I was working on a small crazy concept, and I had to show that as a demo the next day within like 10 hours of time, and I couldn't make it work. And I thought, okay, it won't be respectful if we just go and say nothing. So I told him, this is what I have been doing, this is what I wanted to achieve, but unfortunately I was not able to get to the thing what I wanted to do. But this is my idea. This is exactly what I wanted to do, and I'm stuck here. I wrote everything in an email, completely detailed, composed it, and sent it at 1:45 a.m. kind of. So at least he understands when he wakes up and sees, okay, something has been done, some effort has been put onto it, and then he would have been at least to an extent happier. And I wasn't expecting any replies, and sending an email at that time will not even disturb him, hopefully. Plus, the professor uses a non-smartphone, so there is no possible disturbance for him, hoping that I continued working. And then within 15 minutes, I got an email. First thing is, the project which I am doing, it's in a platform, it's in a language that he has no idea about. So like how I am, if I talk in Tamil, not many people will understand, right? The same way, he doesn't understand what code I was working on. And then later on, what happened is, in 15 minutes, he sent me an email replying me that what I was doing is, there was he actually took a copy from the, the source code, the shared repository, and then he tried backtracking what I did, even though he did not understand the question. He did not understand the programming language. He tried googling, and he tried looking up the documentation. He tried running the whole application with whatever instructions I have given, and he understood exactly where the problem was caused. And using that, maybe he was using his superstar Google search skills, and technically he solved the whole thing, and he sent me. I have experience of more than 5 years in that language. He did not have even 5 minutes of experience. He was able to solve it during the 2 a.m. in the midnight. And then he replied me, see, I'm not a pro in PHP, but this is what I was able to find. What you have done is actually from another different language, but that is not possible. This is what is possible. But whatever you said has been achieved with what I did. Do you think this is correct? This was the words from the professor. I still remember the email. And should I construct a diamond statue for him, comparing with our Indian professors?
Yeah, I mean, professors here, like some of them really, they are very helpful. Even I have a professor, she just like, because of her only I chose the PhD and came to Leicester University. So yeah, there are like, if you have a very good relationship with a professor, it's going to be a good time for you in the university.
And even now, I would say it is just because of Thomas, professor, I'm still in love with Leicester. And anyone who is coming to University of Leicester, I'm going to give them the complete support they deserve. And this is only for Professor Thomas and Professor Reiko. Reiko is another level. He did a lot of things for me. He's the industry relations professor, and he did a lot efforts for a person like me. Like, he doesn't need to do. He is in such a huge position, and he has done a lot. So just because of these two people, I used to call them like Professor Thomas is my grandpa and he is my small grandpa. So to that level, I kind of like, I want to adopt them as my family. To that level, they are so close. And I mean, that is the trust and the passion they have on students. So it is time to like give it back to them as well, right?
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, people, so who are coming to University of Leicester, you can contact Praveen and you can ask any help to him, like, finding accommodation or any, where to stay in Leicester and what to see in Leicester, and, about the university and everything. You can just contact Praveen. I will give the YouTube link and his blog link in the description. You can go and check it out. And
the blog is actually a 14-part blog, which covers literally everything about University of Leicester in my own hands.
Yeah. When I saw the blog, I was like, even I haven't written a blog about that, like Leicester University, because I just like written some blog about accommodation search, but I haven't like given a very detailed one like what you have done. That's a really great thing. Like, it was very easy for me. If I'm coming for the first time to University of Leicester, I will just go through all your blogs and that's it. I get everything in my fingertips, and then yeah, I can and also there are like your YouTube channel. I started like seeing some videos because I need to do some coding and things for some web development. So I'm just started to view that. It's really interesting. So yeah, I will recommend everyone to check all those things out. And if you're particularly coming to University of Leicester, just check out his blog. Yeah.
and
And
talk to me. And
yeah.
anytime if you need any hand, I'm here.
Yeah, definitely. Then thank you, Praveen, for that. And yeah, how did you manage, to study and do your courseworks? Is it really hard? Because people are saying that, coding subjects like computer science are quite hard to study in the UK. So how did you do that?
One thing which I wanted to say is from my eighth standard or sixth standard, I have been wired to computer, wired to programming, and I always had a passion to work with programming and other things. So maybe that could be like, I mean, that is something which I resonate with a lot of other people as well. Most of the students are like, like extreme coders. Like, look at me, I look like a hacker and stuff like that. So uh, there is a reason behind it. I don't have any head on top of my head. So yeah, I'm extremely passionate about coding and teaching people on how to code and etc. So maybe that is one of the reasons. Second thing is to say how difficult the subjects are. One thing which I wanted to say is whatever I studied in University of Leicester is completely practical oriented. So whatever I'm studying, it's going to be like practically I'll be applying on somewhere. Not a lot of them are theoretical, like how I did it back in India. And one thing which I wanted to, for the record, what I wanted to say is back in India, in Chennai, Anna University syllabus, I got 3 arrears. And here I got 6 distinctions, 2 merit, and project distinction as well. Overall degree, I got distinction. So either I should be strong or the education here is like perfect.
Okay, so people, they say like they give courseworks outside and they get it from from different agents. So I don't think that's an appropriate one to do. But like, what is your point of view on that?
See, bribing is always there. We come from India, so it's not new for us. But at the same time, it is going to damage your reputation, or like it doesn't, even if it doesn't damage your reputation, then I don't see a point. Why do you even do this? If you're taking a shortcut right now, you might suffer at a later point of time. So I have been in the position of the opposite side. So if there was any friend who wants to do a project work or something, they'll be coming to me. I don't charge money, but I'll try to teach them. And in case if it is very tough or something like that, I'll just do it. But I'll make sure they learn it at a later point of time, because it's going to help them at a later point of time. So let's consider the situation. So right now you are giving like say 200 pounds to do the project. I'll be happy taking the 200 pounds, eating like what 50 biryanis, veg biryani by the way, and I'll be happy. But what happens to the person who actually receives the project and submits it? They will get the good marks, that's fine, I don't mind, I got the money. Then the next thing is they will go for appear for interviews. If by luck they get passed through, and what if they get into a real crucial project? Right now I'm working with the banking system, so a huge bank is kind of like dependent on me. So any team, the weakest point will be the strength of the team, right? So if that weakest point is broken, then the team is broken. So if that person who actually paid money and did the project, and he works at a bank or any critical institution like medical, banking, financial services, or there are a lot other places where it is critical, and then if he or she is being given the task, and if they kind of mess it up, or if they are not able to do it, then you know what's going to happen. The next thing is they're going to scrutinize what exactly happened, and if they come to know later point of time that this person is unfit, you might even be fired and blacklisted. So I have even seen these kind of incidents happening. And one more thing, in University of Leicester and almost all the British universities, plagiarism is such a huge offense. It's a criminal offense, to be honest, academic criminal offense. So that is totally not worth it, because it might also lead to your deportation of your visa because of your academic dishonesty. So I would prefer people not to take that path, and instead it is always better to like learn and do, or at least try to, even if you buy it from outside, try to do some kind of work on your own before submitting. I have seen a lot of people blindly submitting things, and because of that, even I have gotten into problems. Like, for example, someone would have friendly way they would have asked my code, and they would have like put it in directly. Like, there is a big platform called Turnitin here in the UK universities, in the British universities, and that will actually match who has already done it, and every single thing, mine, my seniors, my juniors, my super juniors, my super seniors, everyone's data will be there. It's like complete data heaven. And I did my master's in cloud computing, so I know how the whole process works there. Like, literally, there will be like tons of data, and easily it will identify, oh, right, this code was copied from this person in this year, whose name is Praveen Kumar. And yeah, so Praveen Kumar's code is matching with Joshua's code, so ban both of them. So I would be the person who was like, I don't know how to say this in English. So Joshua, if you can help me out with this. So something like that. Either one of it, like,
Yeah, the person who is behind the behind the bow
east.
will get the
In the
I
east.
can't
So it's like something
literally
like a
translate
money.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro, I
so
asked you to like say in English, not literally translate it.
yeah, that's what I couldn't like find the exact word for that in English. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously the person who's behind the person who's doing the crime doesn't
The
get
person who is motivating to do the crime
yeah,
will be
get
penalized as well.
yeah.
More than, yeah, those who wanted to do, those who did it or something like that. Yeah, so I'll be in a big trouble in case of something like that happens. So I have to also be careful about who I'm giving my work to as well. So somehow or somewhere, even if I try helping someone to do a mistake, it's gonna come back to me as a threat. So this
Yeah.
is something which I learned in the hard way, which actually happened to me once, and then I stopped. I mean, I did only once, and I got into trouble, and I realized my mistake as well. So I'm okay to tell this too.
Yeah, okay. So and did you do any part-time when you were like studying in Leicester?
I have been doing a lot of consulting work, and most of them were like permanent, 3.5 US dollars kind of work. Yes, you heard it right. It's permanent, 3.5 US dollars, and that was all related to JavaScript and cloud computing one. Unfortunately, with my physique and with my body, I cannot go for a like bartender work, or they used to go for this particular work. What is it like? It will be extremely heavy, 11 hours job, cash in hand.
Is it the warehouse jobs?
Warehouse jobs, yeah. So I couldn't go there because of my body strength. I'm not a like a person like a rock or someone, and I cannot go. I was not able to go to the pub as well. So first day, so in UK, in most of the British universities, there is a university pub. Yes, that's a culture here, and it is called as O2 Academy, and that, I believe, it's a student pub. Even if I went there, the first time I went there, I couldn't bear the headache. And the next 2 days, I was down with fever. So pub is like kind of a no-go for me. And restaurant jobs, warehouse jobs, I don't have the strength to do it. The only strength I have is my brain. So started depending on that. And then I started doing consulting work like JavaScript developer or cloud computing developer, and the programming things. There used to be a website called Hackhands by Pluralsight. Again, it's been murdered by big companies, so it's a US based company. So I was working on that, and every minute I spend time like explaining or helping someone, learning something, teaching something, I'll be getting paid from anywhere between $1 till $3.5. $3.5 was the maximum amount I set. So I could have made it, I could have set it to up to $5 per minute, but I wasn't that greedy. I should have been, maybe. Anyway, so so I set it up to 3.5. So any requests that come to me directly will be $3.5 per minute, and any request that I go and take, it will be $1 per minute, and people can give me tips after the work. And most of the work will be, I mean, due to my experience, I would be completing everything by 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah, I did not plan to cheat anyone by like slowing down or doing it, extending the time or something, but I was like happy to quickly do it and save their money as well. I understand how even 1 rupee matters for us. So So that was the work I was doing. So in turn, what happened was those things enhanced my knowledge in programming and other things, and I was able to also put it in LinkedIn and possible job prospects. Every single day I get at least 5 messages from um, like employers and recruiters. So that happened.
That's great. And since you studied in 2013, you didn't have a PSW, right? So how did you like manage to get a job?
So as I said you this one, and one more thing is I was the first day when I came to Leicester, when I stepped into Leicester, there was this person called Annamalai Nachiappan. I would really like to honor him because he was the only person who gave his bed, and he was sleeping in the floors and other people's houses, sacrificing his sleep. Just that because I came from India, I trusted him, and he has been like extremely more than trustworthy. So there is a huge shout out to Mr. Annamalai Nachiappan. He's just 2 days elder to me by age, and so I came along with my friend. So two people, he was making us both stay in their house for more than 2 weeks, fed us nicely. He helped us getting the right accommodation and literally everything. What he said at the end, like not only just him, he, Ganesh Venkatraman, and I don't remember. There was one medical student, Anna, and I really don't remember his name. But all these people were extremely helpful for me. And Madeline Gracia, of course. Without her, obviously, there is Kannan. Yeah, just to say a couple of people. And those people were there to support me in the first initial few days. And they just, when we were leaving to our own house, they were saying just one thing, because at that point of time even I didn't have any money to pay them, and they just said try to pass on to others. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm saying these things, but what was your question, by the way?
So how did you manage to find a job after your studies?
So during those times, the same person, Annamalai Nachiappan, he was saying about one thing. Praveen, don't get into any. I know about you. You are a technical person. You are really talented in your technical stuff. So don't go to any of these bar works or any kind of like workshop jobs. Just concentrate on your studies. At least for the first semester, try to burden your parents. It's completely all right. They are here for you. Try to not go for any work outside at all. Concentrate on studies, and maybe in your second semester, once you get the feel of how things work here, then go for studies. Second thing, network, 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 network. So I don't know how I took it. Maybe I took it in the wrong sense. So I thought network means social network, and I went to LinkedIn and started giving friend requests to literally everyone. But at that point of time, somehow I realized that I need to give the friend request to the right person. So I started giving requests to all the CEOs, all the managing directors, all the the company owners of all the IT companies in and around Leicester. And there were a lot of companies, like the startup companies, and I found this person, Ben Revelius. He's a startup mama. Like he's the person who is a startup. He incubates a lot of startups. It's like a meta startup, so startup that helps startups to grow. So I befriended him. He got a lot of like, he became a good brother, he became a good friend of mine. And then whenever he comes up with a meeting, conference or something like that, I used to go. Again, sorry Joshua, what is the question again?
Yeah, so how did you manage to find the job?
So because of him, I got into a lot of contacts. Then it was time when Professor Reiko, remember Chinatata, so he announced all of us saying like, you have another 10 days to find an internship or else your visa will be pew. So I just I didn't do anything. I didn't even have a CV with me. I went to Ben Revelius. I said, bro, I need a internship. You know about me. I know about you. We know each other. You know how I work. If I don't get an internship, I have to go back to India. My life is ruined. Oh, no, 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 don't do it. I mean, like, the Indian tactics of like drama putting and all these things. He was like really like, he was like, okay, go ahead. Let me talk to the professor and blah, blah, blah. And everything started. And without a CV, I was the first person in University of Leicester or entire history of the universities or British universities. I got a job.
That's great. That's great.
So
So your
the
all your
rap
skills and your talents actually helped you, right?
the rapport networking is what helped me. And again, thanks to Annamalai.
Yeah, yeah, networking, that's the main thing that I'm telling people, like network through LinkedIn, send
LinkedIn is one of the
connections to, yeah, the right persons, and then talk with them, discuss with them, interact with people. So that's the main thing that will help you get a job. So that's
yeah.
what happened for Praveen too. And Praveen, like, is
And
the
I was
salary?
successful as
Yeah, yeah, he's really very successful. He's living in London right now, right? You're in London, yeah.
of a
So
poor person, by the way.
yeah. So that was in zone 3, yeah, one of the costliest place to live in London.
So at least I'm happy that I'm not traveling anymore. So
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So is the salary okay for you? Like, you may have got some salaries when you were in the initial days, and then there will be, like, percentage of increments over the years. So was that okay? So how was the increment over the years, and is it okay for you to, manage your living here? Can you save something from it?
I worked with Accenture first, starting that was my first job, Accenture UK, one of the best companies. I know people in India will say otherwise because I have heard both the sides of stories. I guess it is because of the country, the way people look at the workplace laws, which are here, which are very stronger and very much employee friendly rather than employer friendly. And during that time, the bulk mass recruiting companies, um, that is one reason. Second reason is the inflation rate in the UK. So it is extremely small, not like in India. So you won't be getting like 10% or 20% increase. Rather than you will be getting a maximum of 3% increase, but it starts from 0.5% increase. So it's a bit low. So be prepared. 0.5% means not 50%, by the way. It's 0.5%. It's like very less, and 100 times smaller than the 50%. So that was the case with me as well. So when I was in Accenture, the first increment for me was like 2%, and the second increment was like 1.5%. And then I had a situation where I have to earn a lot. I was not able to earn much, and since I have been already 3 years and they were postponing my promotion a lot, there was this thing as well. Like I don't think this is a right way to say, but new people who are less experienced than me, they were getting much higher salary because they are new hires. They are this year hires, but I was like 2 years old hire. So always the loyalty comes with a price. Like if you are I don't know how to say, I mean, I shouldn't say all these things, but that is the truth. If you are loyal to some place, you'll be getting the wrath as well. So the pain comes with the loyalty. So this is called as a loyalty penalty, which is there in a lot of places. So if you are a loyal customer, why do the employer need to, or why do the company need to treat you in a better way? They want to attract new customers, not already existing loyal people. You are already there now. Where are you going to go? So that is the same concept with anywhere. And so first year 3%, first year 2%, second year 1.5%, third year I did not stay. So after 2.5 years of Accenture, actually I left with a lot of tears in my eyes. And you know what, I worked with Accenture UK in Newcastle. Newcastle is a place. So first thing, Leicester is a landlocked city. Even though it is a mini India, uh, it was completely landlocked. And I come from coastal region. I come from Chennai. Chennai is famous for Marina Beach. So there are no beaches. So when I went to Newcastle, I know that it is a coastal place. It has like a lot of sea. I mean, literally the Newcastle upon Tyne is the Tyne River is there. So I was with high hopes. I went there, unfortunately, to find that the river is completely frozen. So it's in the north, so it's completely frozen. So yeah, 2.5 years of frozen thing, again a landlocked place, but better than, no, similar to Leicester. But Leicester is a small city while Newcastle is a huge city. Then I got a call from an awesome company from Cornwall, and the first thing they kind of like brainwashed me was, Praveen, you are from Chennai and we have like 600 beaches here. The HR said, I will take you personally in my car to all the 600 places when you are here. Okay, why am I even waiting? Let's get the interview started. Got into the interview, got a 40% jump in the salary. They helped me make the, what do you call this, visa process and other things, sponsorship, and yeah, everything went on well. Then got my visa immediately. I spoke to my Accenture team saying like, yeah, with huge regrets and heavy heart, bye bye. And then, so at that point of time, I got a 40% increase. Then after working for 1.5 years, sorry, which company I'm talking about, any employees, if you're looking at, you know what I'm talking about, but sorry, I have to say this. They recruited two wrong peoples, and one was an American person. They came into my project, they came into my life, made my life miserable. I had to put my papers there, but I hope I went with positive terms, went away with positive terms. The only problem with Cornwall was there was nothing about Indian food or Indian culture here except the company that hired me. The company that hired me had a lot of Indian people. Even the British clients have got their spouses as Indians. So to that level, so many Indians were there just because of that company. And that was the only place, like in the complete desert, there were only the few Indians, they were also our colleagues and employees, something like that. So it was so deserted for me, like literally no Indian food. I'm a vegetarian, so no Indian food, literally no dosa, no idli. I was like devastated. And then at that point of time, after exploring all the 200 beaches alone I explored, after that, London called me, and they said that they will take care of everything. And London startups, they kind of like over promise and stuff. They did achieve their promises, but unfortunately the coping up of a startup culture in London, the speed, etc., I was not able to take it, and it went bad. So anyway, I got into a London job, happily enjoying the first 3 months. After the next 3 months, I thought, okay, this is not going right. I'll quit. So that company, so from Cornwall company to London company, I had got about 50% increase. Okay, first time was 40%, this time was 50%. And then I had to go, obviously this startup company, it was too fast for me, so extremely fast paced, so I had to quit. And then I was about like 1.5 months unemployed. I realized that the pain of unemployment, and luckily got another company. And the London company was also really considering my situation. They know that I'm from India, I'm on a visa, so they did not let the home office know or cut down my employment until I got a new job. To be honest, when I was working in their company, the HR was like shouting in front of everyone saying, Praveen, there is a new job opening, do you want to apply? Is it so important that everyone needs to know that I'm going to leave or I'm being kicked off or something like that? So that kind of they were really helpful. And the person who is from I guess he's from Nigeria, like from Africa, and that person, the head HR, he was absolutely amazing. He even though he's from Nigeria, he had complete idea about the yoga and Indian culture. He was, the moment I said I'm gonna go out, or like there is no more employment for me because of the current scenario, I was like completely broken, and he was helping me come out of it, and he was giving me some tips using yoga, the Indian stuff, and I was like completely amazed. Just because of him, I was okay with everything. And then everything went well. Even though I was 1.5 months unemployed, he was giving me constant support and motivation. And finally, I got into another Indian company, and I'm working for one of the top 2 banks in the UK right now. Yeah, that's what happened.
So it's a very long journey.
It's a roller coaster, because I started in Madhya Pradesh of UK, and then I went to China of India of UK, Northeast, and then immediately I went to Lakshadweep of India of UK, because Cornwall is the Southwest. And then when I was in Accenture, I have been traveling around the UK. I went to Sheffield, I went to Leeds, I went to London, I went to Windsor, I went to Woking, Surrey, I went to Manchester just for a day. And that was exactly the day before the Manchester Arena bombing. And yeah, I was too lucky. So literally, I traveled a lot, flight, train. It was really nice, and thanks to Accenture for that. And it was indeed a roller coaster journey for me.
So you had a lot of opportunities. So how is the job opportunity right now for the, let's say, any UX design or computer science or cloud computing or cybersecurity or any other computer related field? So how is the job market right now in the UK?
As a front-end developer, you have a huge opportunity with any of the frameworks like AngularJS or Vue.js, or if you are good with library like React.js, you have a huge opportunity. So right now, the starting salaries for React.js developers are like around 35 lakhs per annum or 35,000 per annum. And for experienced people, it is easily from 40,000 or something, or 40 lakhs per annum. And coming to, this is just front end. Coming to full stack developers, it's even higher. Just multiply it as 1.5. And coming to streams like cybersecurity, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, you have its own slice of fruit, because they are far higher than full stack development. And um, obviously the salaries are higher as well, and the benefits are higher as well. You will be getting really an awesome work environment, because the one reason why I am not going back to India, or right now I'm staying here, is because of the work environment, the work culture here. Literally, people trust each other, which is really good. It gives you, like, initially, if you feel that you want to escape, or like if you want to misuse their trust, but later on you will understand that you will have the same, you will have the responsibility, that if they are giving you something, that you should be grateful of, and you will try to make sure you work towards it. So to that level, it's going to be really helpful for them.
Okay, so do you have any tips for the international students who are coming right now to UK to study, any other courses or any courses in the UK? So do you have any tips for them?
First thing is, sort out your accommodation and make sure, if you are looking for friends, make sure you are choosing the right people. Unfortunately, it is not in your hands, but it is also in your hands. So make sure you choose the right people. And another thing is, with respect to the studies, I guess for India perspective, I will say, it comparing to Indian education, British education is extremely good. At least the Indian education which I took back in 2010, those times, comparing with that, UK education is really good. And you actually study what you really require. So something like that. There is no beating around the bush. And when practically you're looking at me, I had like 3 years, three backlogs back in my undergraduate, and in my masters I've got everything at least merit, and like most of them distinction. So you can clearly see how a last bencher, a fool, can do something awesome, then obviously you will be far better. So that's something which I would like to say. So you can have that confidence with you. And apart from that, when you come here, think in such a way that you have to take care of yourselves, you have to cook for yourself, you have to, literally, you cannot depend on others. Like when we were at home, we were completely pampered by our parents, which will not happen now. So make sure that you are becoming a bit responsible. I was extremely playful. I was like completely like, amma pulda kind of a thing. And I lost my mom before I came here a year back. And that's the reason I came to UK, like to forget everything and stuff. And yeah, I can clearly see how I have changed from how being a person who is completely around his mom, and now it's like on the own. So
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Praveen, for sharing all your things, like giving tips to the international students, and your blog and your videos are really awesome. and keep on helping the students. And I want to thank you very much for like, I'm very happy to have you on my channel today.
Thank you,
So
Joshua, for like bringing me in as well. So it's a huge honor, and I'm extremely humbled and privileged for you bringing me here.
yeah, okay, thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching the video. So I'll just give the description, like in the description I'll leave the Praveen's channel and his blog link, so you can go and check it out. And you can also reach out to Praveen if you're coming to University of Leicester. He will guide you through everything. So yeah, thank you guys, we'll meet in next video. Until then, goodbye, cheers.